Hello and welcome to the channel. Gavaxman Spins on a bit of a stormy afternoon in the UK. You might get a bit of thunder and lightning in a minute. This is take 4 of this video. Because of thunder and lightning, I've got 4 cats milling around the house who keep raiding the room, so I've had to finally lock the door and kick them out. So hopefully take 4 will be the keeper. So vinyl finds, that's what we're doing. So this is the stuff that kind of came out towards the end of March, throughout April. And I kind of did a Den Bosch finds video, Dave's duplicates raids video, and this stuff didn't really fit in either of those. So a little bit at the end of March, because for the first time in ages there were tons and tons of really good online sales on vinyl especially. So I'm dubbing this one the tax loss video, tax write-off. I don't know whether they're trying to get a revenue in before the end of the tax year, but for the first time in ages there were some genuine bargains, either like £30 albums down to a tenner, some of them about 7, even kind of things that would normally be about 25 were down to like £12.50 and stuff, so lots of big discounts. Yes, we kind of picked up some really good deals, not just off the one that we all know and love to hate, the mighty Amazon, but Asai Records up in Scotland has some really good deals, Rare Waves as well, so all kinds of stuff did arrive. So a couple of new releases as well that were on pre-order. So without further ado, let's have a look at what I bought in the sales, etc. So a new release first. So this was a limited edition from aforementioned Asai Records up in Scotland, and I love their stuff because they do these limited kind of indie exclusives, but they stick a nice little obi on it. It's normally numbered, so that one's hand numbered of 300, but that's fully signed by the 3 members of the band, which is great. And this one's on a kind of exclusive kind of orangey vinyl as well. So the Mighty Doves is the band from Manchester. Had a bit of a hiatus and have come back in the last kind of 4 or 5 years with a couple of albums. So this is their latest one, touring as well, but not all 3 members are touring, I think just 2. But a great band, underrated actually. For a time their first 2 albums were spectacular, and I think a lot of people thought they would go on and do greater things, but I think unfortunately they kind of arrived on the scene as a whole indie kind of scene, and the post Britpop stuff really kind of started to die off a little bit, and it's a shame really, they kind of got lost in the flood a bit, but brilliant band. So if you haven't checked out Doves, start with the debut Lost Souls, brilliant album, and then Last Broadcast the second, and if you don't like them, don't bother, but if you like those 2, everything they do is worth checking out. So delighted to have them back in the kind of fold. Next one's a 25th anniversary kind of reissue of an album that's very hard to find in its original vinyl, so delighted they've redone this one. The Black Crowes with special guest Mr. Jimmy Page. Roughly for every 1 Black Crow song there's 3 Zeppelin songs. What's nice about this is the actual songs they do are quite kind of obscurities really. So you got things like Hey Hey What Can I Do, which was one of the few Zeppelin B-sides that wasn't on an album. Nobody's Fault But Mine from Presence, that's a great album, Presence. In the Light and 10 Years Gone from Physical Graffiti, Custard Pie, Sick Again, Wanton Song, Misty Mountain Hop, Hot Song for Nowhere, another Presence one, The Mighty, My Time of Dying. So great kind of thing. This one, good, nice gatefold there. There's some inner sleeves as well with pictures and stuff like that on. And there's also, here comes the rain, a very nice white vinyl. So delighted that came through. And then the final of the ones that were nothing to do with sales, although this one I did find quite reasonably priced. I picked this up because Jack at the Vinyl Voyage is a big fan of the Mighty Shack. Showed this album on one of his videos, and I got it, I didn't even know it existed. So it's Michael Head and the Red Elastic Band. I think this was their debut. I've got the second one, I haven't picked up the third one, but this was the first one. Didn't know it existed, I'll be absolutely honest with you. Great title, Adios Senior Pussycat, which obviously for people who watch this channel will know that there is a slight cat obsession. I've actually got about 3 outside the door that keep trying to break in, so I've had to kind of barricade myself in here because this is take 4 of this video. But yeah, Michael Head autobiography coming out soon. It's touring with Shaq, so yeah, so it's a good time to be a Michael Head fan. Really good songwriter. Saw him once support the Who with Shaq, which was very odd because nobody in the crowd knew where they were, and I was going, it's Shaq, and the whole crowd kind of was off to get some beer. Right, so a few more. These are all now half price or better kind of deals. So this one was from Asai, black vinyl, 180 gram, 2007 issue. Dropped and plundered dropped in a bit of a plunder, this one. So love the artwork on that. I don't think it's the original artwork, but it's a reissue of I think the only to date solo album by Susi, of Susi and the Banshees. Yeah, Manta Ray, I think it's called, and I think the original sleeve was like that, so you do get like an art print of it inside, but they've changed the artwork, don't know why. Yeah, so that was cheap as chips, so delighted to have that one. Hadn't heard that before then. I've been listening to a bit of Susie and the Banshees lately because I bought a great little uncut latest edition, which goes through all the albums, all the solo albums, the Creatures stuff as well. So I've just finished reading that, so yeah, underrated, aren't they, really? I don't think people kind of pay them the dues that they probably should do. Another one, really pleased to get this. When it's got reissued, I held fire because I thought, I hope it'll drop, and it turned up in the bargain bin. So I think somebody else showed this. They had it for their birthday. Christian, you know who you are. So yeah, so I've also got the mighty electronic Get the Message. It's the vinyl. Is it the Vinyl Sanctuary Christian's channel? Yeah, Christian, you know. Yeah, so this is great. Normal black vinyl, but it does have some kind of pictures, and I think there's some sleeve notes, if I remember rightly, that go through. Do they go through every chat? Yeah, so I think it goes through. There's some details on the tracks and stuff like that. So yeah, so good album though, and actually probably the best way to enjoy electronic, because the singles are really good. I have to say, I think Get the Message is one of the best things Johnny Marr ever did. So yeah, delighted to have that. Another one that dropped, it came out not long ago, first time on vinyl. This is the clear vinyl anniversary edition, more than half price. So really pleased to grab this in the sale. So the mighty Echo and the Bunnymen. I bought this on CD back in the day for like £1, and it's one of the best CDs I bought. So I really enjoy this album, and I think it was almost an Ian McCulloch solo album, because Will Sargent was not too happy with the general chilled outedness of it, and felt it was less of a Bunnyman album and more of an Ian McCulloch kind of album, but the record company insisted it came out as an Echo and the Bunnyman album. But the title track's one of the best things they've done. What are you going to do with your life? Ask yourself. But a really good album, very reflective, quite chilled out, like that one. Now, another one, so the reissues of this band, this is their third album. I've picked up the second album version 2.0 for next to nothing, and it's a phenomenally sounding record, and really from a band that probably embraced digital technology. The vinyl reissues of the first two albums of Brill, so when I spotted this one for like, I think it was something like £8, double album, cuts at 45 RPM, the mighty Garbage. So this is their third album, beautiful Garbage. I think the single was Androgyny, was it, and Shut Your Mouth. So nice looking bit black vinyl, can't go on with that. So yeah, so if I'm seeing more of the Garbage stuff, I will pick them up because they sound wonderful. And talking of wonderful sounding records, now I have to be careful with this one because this is a reissue, and I was so pleased because I've been trying to find a copy of this on vinyl for absolutely ages. I did do a vinyl once kind of thread where I think you had to name 10 albums that you'd like to kind of get a vinyl copy of that maybe you've got on CD, and this was one of my nominated ones. So this is a reissue, it's not an original. Whenever I see an original, they are either very expensive or very expensive and not in particularly good condition. So delighted when I spotted this, and not only was it really cheap, I sounds absolutely phenomenal. I don't know who's done the kind of a cut from the original production tapes. It sounds absolutely brilliant. A later 80s Manchester classic, the inimitable Happy Mondays and Shaun Ryder with their second proper album, Bummed. So I've got the third and the fourth album, so I need to find the copy of the debut. I might go for a reissue because this is so good. Beautifully done. So the gatefold has some linear notes. I won't show you the inner sleeve, but yes, those that know the album, the naughty picture of a naked lady is still there in all her unflattering glory. So they haven't done away with it, which I was quite surprised at. I thought in the current climate they may not do that, but this is brilliant. I think it's the 2019 reissue this was, but it's absolutely brilliant. So one of the finds of the year this is so far. So really pleased with this. And it's so good, it kind of made me like the album again all over, but it blows my original factory CD out the water. It's crystal clear. You can make out all the samples from the performance film and things like that. So and if you haven't heard this, it's brilliant. Martin Hannett production, Joy Division fans, so a proper factory records classic. So highly pleased to have that one. And then another one that I was really pleased to get, first time on vinyl. It's an expanded version of a compilation by a wonderful band. Again, I think they're from Manchester, aren't they? The Mighty Magazine, Howard Devoto and co. And this is like an extended version because it includes some stuff from the final album they did when I think they did a little reunion, which I've got to be honest, I didn't really know too much about. So it hasn't been out that long. I think Rob Walker picked this up as well, but I'll show you the track list in there. I bought a few magazine albums in Denbosch, so I think I'm only missing Secondhand Daylight on vinyl now, so I need to find a copy of that. But this is great, you know, shot by both sides, Definitive Gaze, Motorcade, The Light Pours Out of Me. What's the song from Under the Floorboards? What a song that is. Sweetheart Contracts. And then, as I say, it goes through to an album they did when they kind of reformed. So the thing, it's also on very nice kind of coloured vinyl, fire vinyl, whatever that is. But here you go. Should we have a little looks? There you go. It's like a yellowy. Apparently that's fire vinyl. But and interesting enough, the hype stick is actually stuck to the plastic sleeve, which is interesting, isn't it? For those that don't like plastic sleeves. Some people don't put their records in plastic sleeves. Dave doesn't do that either. Why? I don't know. So save space, I don't know. But yeah, there you go. So great album that, and again, really cheap. The next one's even cheaper because it was basically free. Because when it arrived, a 12-inch vinyl fitted through my letterbox in. And I was thinking, well, that isn't what it's supposed to be. And they sent me a CD of Now 90 or something or other. There was somebody else's who was also called Gav. So they must have got the Gavs mixed up. So I did a quick doodah back saying, you've sent me the wrong thing. They immediately refunded me the money, but also at the same time sent me what I was supposed to have. I did send back the CD, what I didn't want, so I did have to pay a bit of petrol to go to the post office and chuck it back. But The Pretenders, their latest album, yeah, so that effectively, I think it was something like £7, but they didn't cost me anything. But this is cool because it's on this very nice, I'll try and hold it up to the light, kind of coloured-y, pinky, weirdy kind of vinyl, but is that coming out better? Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, that's a better angle in it. So yeah, so for nothing, quite happy with that. It's good album match as well. I think Mike at the Vinyl Spiral might have showed this on one of his videos. So on his recommendation, I did order it because it was literally next to nothing, and then it cost me now. So can't go on with that one. And yeah, pleased with that. Talking of Mike at the Vinyl Spiral, may well be meeting Mike. There's a little plan which is becoming more and more definitive. Things are booked, etc., to go up to Leeds in June and partake in their local record fair and meet some people from up north and say hi, hopefully have a beer, that type of stuff. So yeah, very exciting. Now, another one that was basically, this is a National Album Day reissue. It plummeted in price shortly after that got released because somebody on Amazon kept saying it was rubbish and that all of the pressings were faulty. And I had a little look on Discogs, and nobody was particularly, you know, critical on Discogs, which is unusual. If there's a problem with the record, normally it's those like 1-star reviews. So it was in the sale. It was, I think, around the £10 mark, and it was originally 30, I think maybe even 32, something like that. A punk classic with one of the greatest 80s singles of all time on it, which would of course would be Golden Brown. So I'm talking the Stranglers with La Folie, their I think 1982 was it? 1981, sorry, album, and nice pink vinyl, and translucent even pink vinyl, and my copy, flat as a pancake, clean as a whistle, plays beautifully, no problems at all with it. So delighted that I took the punt on that one and ignored the Amazon reviewer. Maybe he did it on purpose to drive the price down because he wanted lots of us to be able to pick up a nice copy, but who knows. So some poor soul got loads of rubbish ones. Mine was absolutely fine. So again, got a little mini growing Stranglers vinyl collection. I have got them all on CD from yonks and yonks ago, but it is nice to still get the odd kind of vinyl, and they're kind of, I'm getting the odd gap, so if I see them I'm picking them up. Now the next one is a reissue of a 2000 solo album by David Coverdale that's been rebadged as a Whitesnake album on nice embossed. I just realised it's embossed. So Whitesnake, Into the Light. There was a CD box set as well that was quite cheap, this, but to be honest with you, I've got them all on CD, so I was only really bothered about getting this on vinyl. It's a good album, this is actually. It's underrated, and Dave actually had like a trendy haircut as well, so the old... it didn't last long. He went back to the hair metal image shortly after, but a remix, which is very good as well, actually. So he's doing a good job on resurrecting his kind of back catalogue and representing it. So delighted to have that. The only, I think, Whitesnake studio album or David Coverdale solo album I hadn't got, with the exception of Coverdale Page, so I'm kind of hoping that gets some kind of vinyl reissue. That would be lovely. And the last one, this is an all analog cut on clear vinyl, a 50th anniversary. One of the few albums by this guy I hadn't got that's in that kind of 70s run, so delighted to have this one because I found it quite hard to find a decent original. An album that for many years you couldn't get on CD. It was a big deal when it finally got a CD reissue. I'm glad to say this is a nice vinyl reissue. So Neil, On the Beach from the mighty Neil Young. Great album. I don't really need to say much more than this, do I, about this one? But if you haven't heard this, it's brilliant. If you have heard it and you want to get yourself a nice new copy, these were knocking around at quite significant discounts, as a lot of his stuff does, because he releases about 200 albums a year, doesn't he? Even I cannot keep up with the Neil Young kind of reissues. There's the bootleg series, the official release series, the original something series, the concert series, the archive series. So I quite really hard to keep up with them, but really pleased to have that. And that was the last one. So so thank you for watching. We didn't get any thunder and lightning, so apologies for that. I did think if we had a bit of rain, I've managed to keep the cats out. Yeah, so my work here is done. Yeah, so coming up shortly will be the next in the Iron Maiden Funko Pop shorts. And then it's video, I think, number 200. So I'll do a 200th video special. And then onwards and upwards into, probably be close to June by then, won't it? But thank you for watching. Gabaxman Spins over and out. Have a good one.